Hi, this is John for Outstanding Poker. I'm back with part 2 of this member review video series. It's Johan who's playing, and he's playing on micro gaming. He's playing some 50 no limit, 6 max on these anonymous tables. And we got about halfway through the video, and I'm just going to carry on from where we left off. And there was quite a few interesting spots, and there's still more interesting spots to come. There's one that is going to happen straight away as well. I'm going to do what I did in the last video and keep fast forward into the interesting spots. So we're going to be looking at table 1, where we get a loose player limping. I'm a pretty aggressive guy. ISO raises. So it's a pretty good spot to call, because we can feel almost certain that this guy is going to be overcalling too. So in this instance, hang on a minute, did he just like open fold or something? Oh no, he actually folded pre-flop, didn't he? So yeah. So that's okay though. We end up, usually he's going to call quite a lot, you know, pre-flop. But anyway, we're heads up now. We've got position, so it's still a pretty good spot. Now he checks to us, which is strange. So obviously, looks to me like he's giving up. So I don't mind putting out a bet there. It's put out a pretty big bet. Probably no need to be that big, but that's fine. Don't mind taking the pot down here. If he folds hands like ace king, we stop him from being able to catch up. I think table 2 here, I prefer to raise ace 8 up there. Right, so we get called. Right, this is fairly interesting. So he actually calls us, and now we get this 3 of spades on the turn, and he checks to us again. Now, probably not as much reason to bet now, unless we think that this guy will actually float out position with ace king. I don't think many people will. I think most people will check fold, because that kind of board does hit our pre-flop calling range. You know, we're going to call with 10-9 suited and 8-7 suited on the button quite a lot. So board kind of hits our range a little bit more than his pre-flop raising range. But after he's called us, I'd expect him to have at least something now. Something fairly marginal that he doesn't want to be betting and getting raised off, I expect. And I don't think that turn card really gives us any more fold equity. So I think now I'd be more tempted to check it down, unless we think that this guy is capable of folding top pair, something like, you know, Queen 10 or Jack 10. If we think we can barrel him off Queen 10 or Jack 10, then I don't mind betting the turn, as long as we're going to be bombing the river to try and get him off them type of hands. That's the only time where I'd be liking the betting the turn, if we're actually planning on betting big on the river to fold out some better hands. So yeah, so I don't think the turn bet is all that bad, but I would be more inclined to just check it back now that he's called that. It's going to be difficult to get some of these players to fold that 10 as well anyway. Take some serious aggression. Yeah, and in this one I would have raised pre-flop, and then I would have been betting that flop, and would have taken that down quite a lot. So we bet half pot, and he actually calls. So now I can be fairly certain he has got something. He's called a couple of fairly decent sized bets. The flop bet was big, that was only half pot, but that's fine. And now we obviously hit our set, which is absolutely brilliant. So now and he checks to us again, and now we're looking at just a pure big value bet. So let's have a look at what size bet. I kind of like betting 19. I think 19 is a good size bet. It's like half his stack, and it's about 4/5 of the pot. Once you start going over 20, it's probably just going to start getting a bit worried, I think. But I don't know, you never know, it could be a slow playing something like an overpet, so I think you should be betting at least 19, and I think you can probably get away with betting the pot. Bet 2/3. That's okay, but definitely could have got away with more.